I hope you're having an amazing day because we are going to chat about the inner critic today. First thing you need to know is you are not crazy. Like, we all have that voice in our head that is a negative dick. It's not just you. We all have it. Absolutely everyone, except maybe a psychopath. Can't deal with that, but can deal with you. And we're going to talk about Nancy and what she is and where she's formed and how we can use science, actually going sciencey today, to change your brain. So let's get started. Today we are actually going to go straight into the science and we're going to deal with humans. So as humans, when we were cave people, we are built to survive. We are good at it. We are good at surviving, assessing danger, being critical, and we have a flight or fight response. This was amazing when we were cave people fighting tigers. So we would be able to sense it and we could run. So we would sense, assess, run, or fight. This was great. This is why we're so good at being alive. But we have another slight problem, and that is that we don't fight tigers anymore, and we don't need it because we don't hunt for our food. We go to the supermarket. But we still have those instincts inside and we still use them, but they've evolved with us to be more social. So we assess, we criticize, and we fight or flight in social situations, which is weird but fun, which is keeping us, it's kind of protecting us so that we don't get hurt emotionally. So if we are critical to ourselves, we won't get hurt by any other people's critical comments, which is okay. But we're going to dive straight into the next problem, which is humans are also community-based people. So we live in tribes. It's a very popular trending word at the moment, tribes, and we live in them and we conform to the ideals of the tribe, which is for protection because we want to be safe. So that if we're in a tribe, mass, we can fight the tiger that is trying to kill us. So we have the community spirit, and that's still with us. We don't want to be thrown out because we won't be safe. We want to feel safe and protected, because if not, we would be thrown out to the circle of life and we would be eaten by tigers. So it is in our best interest to stick with the pack for protection, and we continue to critically assess and use our fight or flight responses in our normal life. So how is this anything to do with Nancy? Well, we give power to what we give attention to. So I'm just gonna repeat that. So we give power and energy and strength to what we give attention to in our brains and selves. I'm gonna give you 2 seconds to think about that. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna give you a little weird example. So every day, you're a child. Picture yourself as a little child. And every day you're given £5 and you have the choice. You can spend £5 on candy or you can spend £5 on books. Now, with children, we are definitely gonna pick candy over books any day. I know several of you watching will be like, well, I would have always picked books. Like, no, we pick candy because we're children. So we'd pick candy first and then we'd go back for the books if we had money, but we didn't because we want candy. So our brains are exactly the same. We are wired socially and biologically to be negative. Socially, everyone around you has been negative and it brought you up in the same way, and you are biologically searching for danger. So you are wired to be negative. So when you are handed your £5, you go and buy negativity because it is the easy, delicious option. Whereas picking a book, you have to give up something. You have to give up fun, instant gratification for long-term happiness, something you can reuse and you can learn, you can develop from. That is what we do. We are all just children being handed £5 each day and we all go to the candy store instead of being like, no, actually, I'm going to invest in a personal development book and I'm going to learn how to be better. That is what we need to do. So how are we going to do that? We are going to do that by chatting about your belief system and your reticular activating system. More science! Jade, the most unsciency person ever, is going to chat to you about your brain. So, what is a belief system? A belief system is like a seed that was planted in you when you were very young by your parents, or many adults with their belief systems, they have put it into you. For example, if your parents told you that you were worthless, that belief system gets planted and it grows, and you start to look for reasons to reinforce the belief. So I'm going to use an example from my life. So when I was young, my older brother used to tell me I was fat and I was stupid. So I went around looking for reasons to be fat and stupid. So I would eat loads and I would not pay attention in school because I was stupid, reinforcing the belief system. So why are we reinforcing belief systems? Like, even if we don't believe it? Well, we've been told that when we were young and you don't question, so your brain starts to reinforce the belief. So we're going to chat about your reticular activating system, which is a part of your brain that looks to reinforce your belief system. Okay, best way to explain this. Picture a crowd. Now, you like red hats. And if you looked at a crowd, you would spot all of the red hats because you're like, oh, I like that hat. Oh, I like that hat. Oh, I like that hat. What you didn't see was the 27 yellow jumpers, the purple crowns, the guy with the massive beard, because you weren't looking for that. You were looking for red hats to reinforce the belief that you like red hats. That is kind of how the reticular activating system works. We get bombarded with information absolutely every single second of every single day. There's too much color, too much light, too much movement. It blows our brains. So we slow down and we look for things that reinforce our belief systems, like red hats or worthlessness. So for example, if you had the core belief like I did that I was fat, I went away to find things to make me reinforce that belief. So I would look at okay, this is definitely something everyone does. Magazine wall in WH Smith or in a newspaper stand. You'll look at all of the magazines and the only thing you will notice is the skinny model on the front. So you get to go, oh, she's getting attention because she's skinny. I am not that skinny, therefore I am worthless and not worthy of attention. Everyone does this to magazines. That's why they suck, unless you're getting a really nice one. So that is how our reticular activating system works. It is looking for reasons to reinforce the beliefs that were implanted in us when we were very young. So what are we going to do about it? Well, we want to just kind of reach down, pull the roots out of the belief and rip it out the ground, because they aren't helping anyone. They certainly aren't helping you. You being told you were worthless when you were younger isn't true. That was just someone's poor accidental choice to tell you that, and then you've been building up this belief ever since, and we just have to identify it and grab it and rip it out. So let's chat about how you can identify it, and the easiest way is to listen to Nancy, the voice in your head that tells you you're a crap bucket. She's annoying, I get it. So she'll start saying things like, I can't, I won't, I don't deserve this, I am unworthy of this. All those words, all of those statements, like you will see what it is. So I can't do a handstand because I am this. You can if you just practice. Or I am not worthy of making money because my parents never made money and that is just not meant for me. I am not meant to be successful. I am not meant to be happy. All of these limiting belief systems have been planted in you and they are not true. So we're going to identify them and pull them out. And we're going to do that, as we've done in the plans, with corrective behavior. So we are going to, every time you hear it, someone going, ah, you're fat and unworthy, you're going to go, actually, I am worthy and I am not fat. I have fat and that is okay. We're going to use that for whatever your problem is. I use the fat example specifically because it's just relevant and it's easy to talk about for me, because that has been my problem all of my life. I have been too fat to live. Blame my brother. So to round off this little short video, because we didn't want to make it too long because the science is quite confusing, if you do want more information on limiting belief systems, just ask. I have so much info, it's so great, but I just want to give you a mini introduction today. So just to like quickly round it off, you give power to what you give attention to. So by thinking and focusing on negative things start to come into your life because you're focused on it more. So you know when you're in a bad mood and just everything seems to go wrong? Negative. You're focusing on it and your reticular activating system is looking to reinforce that you're having a bad day. So it'll start to be like, oh, and of course I spilt my coffee, and oh, of course my pen ran out of ink. Like, that's how it works. So we want to rewire it to be positive, so you have a positive belief like I am worthy, and your reticular activating system will look for ways to endorse that. So it will be like, ah, Susan actually smiled at you, she actually likes you, or how grateful are you that your mother did this really nice thing for you. All of those things, like, this is how it works. This is like one of the life hacks to being happy, is to pull out your negative belief systems and replace them with happy ones so you can bring the happiness to you. But before we call off, I'm just going to give you a little visualization for Nancy. So you have two brains, the conscious and subconscious. Now, Nancy is kind of like a screaming child. She'll just stand there and scream negative things at you. And right behind her is a nice, quiet adult, which is you, who just wants to have a nice, chill conversation about what's going on right now and the best way to deal with it. You can't hear her over the screaming child because it is screaming, and you're just kind of like, oh my god, stop screaming. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take the child and put it to bed and give it like a bottle and a nice little whirly thing. We're just gonna put the child to bed and we're gonna have a chat with your subconscious mind, which is the calm, collected gut feeling that you have, the truth underneath it, and we're just gonna have a chat with her. So that is one of the many things that we're going to be working on in this 4 weeks, which is so exciting. We are so going to fix your brain to be positive by removing Nancy, or just putting her to bed, so we can actually have a chat with the real human being that's being suffocated by the noise of a screaming infant. So we're going to start saying no to all those negative thoughts. We are going to use corrective behavior, and we are going to understand that, one, science is against us. Biologically, we are programmed and socially programmed to be negative, and we're going to choose to be more positive and use corrective behavior, and we are going to have a great, happy, damn life because we deserve it. This is the most important thing, and the most thing that you can argue with Nancy about is that she's wrong, because you are worthy and you do deserve to be happy. No matter what she says, no matter what anyone else says, you deserve it. And I'm going to prove it, because that is what we're going to do for the next 4 weeks. We are going to prove Nancy wrong, that you are worthy, you can do anything, you can literally do anything if you want to. It's going to be so much fun. So if you want to have a chat to me about what you think your limiting belief systems are, or if you want to have some examples. So this actually happened to me when I was watching a huge long Darren Hardy speech. It was about the reticular activating system, and he came up with these huge, like, worthlessness, sadness, like all of these trigger words, and I was like, oh my god, that's my problem. I've always felt worthless and not good enough. And if you want something like that, no problem, I'm gonna send you so much info. Just have a chat to me about what you want to do and what you like, and it's gonna be awesome. Right, I'm not gonna chat anymore because you guys have so much to do, and I want you to actually have a think about what your brain is saying, maybe make some notes, and then have a chat to me. And then we are going to, well, I'm mostly going to say, that's not true, you're a great person. So, bye, and I will see you on the gram. Can't wait to hear all about your limiting beliefs so we can destroy them.